I require a target. Too far away. closer. range.
And then you have to log into your Xbox Live account if you have a next generation system with 4 teraflops of compute, and it can even do ray tracing and 120Hz in games, all for $299. But is any of this really accurate, or is it just marketing gimmicks? What about the backward compatibility? Does it hold a candle to the very impressive showing that we've seen with the Xbox Series X already? And of course, how well does the power of the SSD translate to a system that has half the capacity and less memory? There's a lot to unpack here, so let's walk through the Series S in some detail. If you're like me and you've been a part of the Xbox ecosystem since the first day, you'll be in for a surprise here. Setting up a 360 or an Xbox One can take some time. Usually a software update is first, and then you have to log into your Xbox Live account. If you have two-factor authentication set up, you'll never remember your password just like me, and it can be a bit of a pain. But first time setup on the Series S is much easier. You still get that firmware update, but you now have the option to set up your Xbox via the companion mobile app. I've used a previous version of the Xbox app on my phone before, but this one is actually quite useful. It's a very simple process to get set up. I also noticed that the download speeds over the network are a lot faster than the Xbox One. So all in all, this was a very simple process, and within a few minutes I was logged back into my account. And for the first time I experienced the new Xbox Series S dashboard. It's not a radical departure from the Xbox One X, but there are some neat touches. The snappiness is what I'm most interested in, and of course even on the Xbox Series S, it offers this up rather nicely. Because I've been an Xbox fan since the beginning, I've amassed quite the library of games, and if you have as well, then you're in for a real treat. This is one of the coolest features about the Xbox Series X, and that is, your games come with you. Not all of them of course, only a small number of OG Xbox and 300 or so Xbox 360 titles, but every Xbox One title is fully backward compatible with the Xbox Series X, and that even includes obscure games such as Crimson Dragon. Out of the box, this is pretty impressive, and I am expecting Microsoft to continue with their commitment to backward compatibility. And speaking of that, we are going to cover backward compatibility extensively in this episode. I do think it's one of the coolest features about the Xbox Series X. I've captured almost 1 terabyte of gameplay across 100 games, and there are some highlights and even some games in this list that even surprise me. But quick thoughts on Series S backward compatibility? It's excellent, and one that makes a $299 system quite compelling. But there are a few limitations to be aware of compared to the Xbox Series X that we will get into.
I see you have made it this far.
Onto the system menu, the display options offer up 720p, 1080p, 1440p, and 4K Ultra HD. Now you can also set 120Hz refresh rates, if your TV supports it of course. HDR and HDR10 are also supported. These are effectively the same options that you'll get with the Big Brother Xbox Series X. Does this mean that you can play Dirt 5 at 4K at 120Hz on the Series S? Well, no, but it's important to stress here that there is no limitation on 4K on the Series S other than the developer. In fact, the Tourist runs at a native 4K on the Series S and smooth as butter at 60 frames per second. Of course, 4K games on the Series S will most likely be limited to a much smaller set of games, but it's nice to see Microsoft not wall off 4K for the system. But for the most part, when it comes to next generation gaming, unfortunately, it's difficult to assess the Series S and answer many of the concerns that developers have made due to its memory limitations. Cross-gen games means that optimized code for next gen may not be available in many instances. Watch Dogs Legion is a Series S enhanced game, but unfortunately, the patch will not be made available until the launch date of the Series S, which is November the 10th. Microsoft promises to have optimization patches available at launch for most games, but we'll need to wait to 2021 to really get a sense of how the Series S performs with the next generation games. But it's not a big mystery across the board. Even today, the Xbox Series S offers the same power of the internal SSD as the Xbox Series X, which is impressive. This is truly a feature that we've wanted for a while. You'll notice how fast the SSD performance is in everything you play. For example, loading a level in Sekiro on the Series S takes less than 10 seconds, and in another test, I compared a cold start of Ori and the Will of the Wisps between the Xbox One VCR and the Xbox Series S. To get to the main title screen took 30 seconds on the Xbox Series S, and on the Xbox One VCR takes over 1 minute and 18 seconds. And this of course does not take advantage of any next generation enhancements such as the velocity architecture. It's purely the combination of a fast CPU for decompression of assets along with fast SSD read speeds. Each game will take advantage of a loading speed boost, and in many cases it can be significant. One that stands out for me is Final Fantasy 15. Without any patches or optimizations at all, what we will see here is a startling comparison of the Xbox One VCR's loading performance against the next-gen PCIe SSD running on the Series S, with its blistering fast raw performance. The Series S loads the game in around 13 seconds. Over on the poor Xbox One VCR, it goes on and finally completing at 1 minute and 12 seconds. Once again, this is almost a minute faster. Once you get a taste of next gen, it's impossible to go back to anything before it. It's like going from a cable modem to fiber internet. Another is loading an Xbox original game via backward compatibility. The Xbox dashboard intro takes longer to load up than the game itself. It's simply that good. Fast SSD is a game changer, and I'm very glad to see that Microsoft didn't cut any corners on the performance of the drive itself. But unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the storage size. It's half the size of the Xbox Series X at 512GB, and only 360GB of that is usable. If you have a large library of games or a Game Pass subscription like me, you'll be filling up that SSD very quickly. I was able to max out the drive in the first few hours of using it. So you may want to consider an external SSD drive to offload anything not next gen to. Of course, you'll lose the speed. And for me, the 512GB internal drive is the biggest drawback of the hardware. You'll need to spend $219 for the 1TB SSD add-on module, but now that will put you in Xbox Series X territory, and this is where I struggle with a decision to reduce cost by reducing the size of the SSD, and hopefully with different third parties coming on board, we'll offer some cheap expansion drives on the market that will hopefully become more competitive. Still, I love the SSD in the Series S. It's truly a next-gen feature. Turning on an Xbox from a restart takes around 2 seconds. Quick Resume allows you to continue a game from a suspended state pretty much instantly. You can have up to 4 games that are suspended and Quick Resume into. I didn't think I'd be big on a feature like this, because generally speaking I tend to only play one game at a time. But as I was testing the Xbox Series S for this review, I noticed that I was using the Quick Resume feature quite regularly. For example, I can jump out of a game that I'm playing and load Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and as you can see, it jumps straight back into the game with only a few seconds delay. This feature is excellent and offers up to 4 Quick Resume slots. And if you're wondering why only 360GB is available from the max 512GB of storage, this is most likely the reason. Think of save states that are used in emulation. The idea and concept is exactly the same. And this does explain why you lose over 100GB of space to the operating system. Microsoft have also talked about smart delivery. This is simply a delivery system that allows you to play the best version of the game for the console that you own. On paper, I had questions about this. It kind of sounds like marketing fluff, but there are some interesting things to note. For example, when testing Forza Horizon 4 during the making of this review, the Xbox Series X version comes in at 81.9GB for the entire game. On the Xbox Series S, it's reduced to 71.4GB. This means that it's only pulling in assets for the game that it needs. Forza Horizon 4 is on the list of next-gen ready titles for the Series S, and during the making of this review I took a closer look at the performance. As you can see, it's smooth as butter, locked at 60 frames per second, running at either 1080p or 1440p. But is a 1080p 60fps title really considered next-gen? Let's consider another example, Gears 5. This is another game that has a next-gen update patch, and on the Xbox Series S, multiplayer supports 120 frames per second, and when tested, it works fine on a $299 system. It's quite astonishing to see this level of performance. In single player mode, it targets 1440p at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, we got a new show for y'all. Man, what has happened to Fox News, man? This 2020 has been the strangest year ever on record, and it gets stranger and stranger and stranger. Yeah, it's getting insane. Yeah. Hey, everybody, this election is not over. Yeah, just so y'all, but y'all know that.
All the conservatives know that.
Yeah, the only people don't know that is on the left. Boy, they're going to be surprised.
They dancing in the streets for this man.
Man, they dancing in the streets catching COVID. They happy as hell.
Hey there, Lefty. Mainstream media, they do not certify elections.
Yeah. They'll call it.
But they don't certify it. They don't stamp it.
And I think it's reckless
and premature
to call this election. I mean, they should have learned from what happened back in Bush versus Gore.
Yeah, and nowadays politics is so polarizing. Y'all calling that election that was reckless, and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, but hey, it's the media. They know what they doing.
They got people out there burning down buildings, tearing down statues. The mainstream media is responsible for all of that.
All of that.
But hey,
anyway, Neil Cavuto, one of Fox News' finest.
Won't you put a transfer in to CNN?
Yeah.
MSNBC. Put a transfer, man. You'll fit better over there.
Hey,
man.
but you know what, Kevin?
What?
There might be somebody holding a gun to his head. He's probably like, all right, okay, please, just don't kill me. But anyway, that's a joke.
That's a joke, yeah.
Yeah.
No need to,
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to joke. But
it's
anyway,
okay to joke, yeah.
The video we're referring to is when Neil
Yeah.
cuts to the press secretary.
Yeah.
And here, I'll just let you check out. Let's cut to the video.
One party in America that opposes verifying signatures, citizenship, residency, eligibility. There is only one party in America trying to keep observers out of the count room. And that party, my friends, is the Democrat Party. You don't take these positions because you want an honest election. You don't oppose an audit of the vote because you want an accurate count. You don't oppose our efforts at sunlight and transparency because you have nothing to hide. You take these positions because you are welcoming fraud and you are welcoming illegal voting. Our position is clear. We want to protect the franchise of the American people. We want an honest, accurate, lawful count. We want maximum sunlight. We want maximum transparency. We want every legal vote to be counted, and we want every illegal vote to be...
I just think we have to be very clear. She's charging, the other side is welcoming fraud and welcoming illegal voting. Unless she has more details to back that up, I can't in good countenance continue showing you this. I want to make sure that maybe they do have something to back that up, but that's an explosive charge to make, that the other side is effectively rigging and cheating. If she does bring proof of that, of course, we'll take you back. So far, she has started saying right at the outset, welcoming fraud, welcoming illegal voting. Not so fast. We'll have more after this.
I mean, I think she was doing a real good job at explaining all the fraud. Won't you shut up, dummy?
She was doing a great job.
How's that explosive? Maybe that's explosive in China or Russia, but this is the United States of America. Making a simple statement as what fraud is shouldn't be explosive.
Yeah.
That's our law.
Yeah. You know what's explosive there, Neil? Calling the president of the United States a white supremacist.
Now, that's explosive, especially when you ain't got evidence.
You know what's explosive? Saying the president of the United States has got concentration camps at the border.
Now, that's explosive.
You know what else is explosive? Saying the president of the United States, who makes millions of dollars a year, only paid $750 in federal taxes.
Now, that's explosive.
What else is explosive?
Calling the president a rapist, that's explosive.
Yeah. I've heard all kinds of explosive stuff, and y'all have never done this before.
Calling the president xenophobic?
You know what's explosive?
Huh.
Saying the president of the United States colluded with Russia to win the election.
Now, that's explosive.
Saying the president of the United States currently is an illegitimate president, that's explosive. So why all of a sudden y'all want to like just cut out stuff y'all deem explosive?
Hey, you know what else is explosive? Calling this election before it's been certified. That's explosive.
Especially when it's being contested.
Not letting observers come into a building, that Neil Cavuto, that's not explosive. That's our law.
Yeah.
Observers, poll watchers should be in there reviewing everything.
Yeah.
Verifying signatures, making sure that these counts are legitimate.
Yeah.
It's nothing explosive about that statement.
Yeah, what's explosive about making sure only the legal votes count?
All votes do not matter, only the legal ones.
Yeah, I mean, that's not explosive at all.
That is the stupidest hashtag I've ever seen. All votes matter. No, they don't if you're dead. No, they don't if you're illegal. No, you don't if your signature's been forged.
Hey, y'all know what's interesting? If you take out all the contested states and you give Trump North Carolina and Alaska, which the media has not given him yet, North Carolina and Alaska, they have not given him that, even though the numbers show you should give it to him by the way they've been doing things.
Yeah.
If you take all that into account, take out the contested states, you know Trump is actually leading the electoral vote 232 to 226?
Yeah, Trump is winning.
He's actually winning.
Didn't know that, did you, dummy? I tell you what, Arizona's still up for grabs.
Yeah, there's
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Trump can take that.
What's crazy is they called Arizona the night of the election. They still have 80-some thousand votes left.
Right.
Which is more than enough votes for Trump to go ahead.
Yeah.
They already called that.
If Biden wins, so be it. If they do the recounts and he wins, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised after all these lies the mainstream media has been sharing with you about our president, about Republicans. I would not be surprised if they overturn that certification and give it to Trump. Because I'm telling you right now, Biden has not won the election yet.
He hasn't.
He hasn't not been certified.
I mean, the press says he's won, but
hey,
they don't.
Who are you gonna listen to? You gonna listen to the press?
Well, on the left they do right now.
Y'all out there dancing in the streets, having all these super spread events.
It's not super spread events when they're liberal. They're having a party.
Yeah.
They kid, man.
You know what, man? Black America.
Not just black people, man. There's a whole lot of dumb white people out there, too.
I know some dumb white people out there, too, but I need to talk to you black Americans, man.
Man, they ain't trying to hear nothing.
Y'all out there dancing in the street for a man and a woman who's made a career locking up black folks.
Yeah, the 94 crime bill by Biden.
And this lady joked about smoking weed in college and threw the book at black men for smoking weed.
a target. Target something first. I require a target. Too far away. I don't have a target.
Champion, Azeroth cries out for your
I need
aid.
to target something first.
Come to Selenedax. There's
I
something
require
you
a
need to
target.
see.
I don't have a target. I need to target something first. I must get closer.
Your courageous deeds have earned you a place in the tales of the caravans. Such heroism deserves a reward. Come visit our camp in Vol'dun. Kiro had us put together a special gift for you.
Yeah. Y'all happy for that? And it's crazy they only picked her because she's black. Look, her daddy look like me. I just made the cut. Yeah. Her mama is from India, red dot India. I'm talking about the people with red dots on the foreheads. And I'm telling you, that lady is fake, faker than a $3 bill. I'm surprised black people can't see that, because black people are good. Well, I ain't gonna tell you. They ain't good at folk. That's who y'all dancing for. But I'm gonna hate to see. I mean, I want to see it, but I'm gonna hate to see. Yeah. If they find that a lot of fraud was in this election, they throw out a lot of votes and Trump wins. How is the left gonna react? Well, they're gonna react on how they always react. Violence. I mean, I was watching. It was Fox News out there in Las
Too far away.
and they were out there having a party and everything. And they were interviewing people. They was talking to a Latino dude, and then he said, "I'm so happy that this country's going in the right direction." MAGA people, white people, ran him off the road because he's Latino. I was like, and they aired that, and I was like, What?
There's no proof of that. That sounds pretty explosive to me.
That's explosive. I mean, why do you put that on the news that white Trump supporters ran him off the road because he's Latino? I mean, how can you verify that? Some white dude in the truck runs him off the road, and I mean, how do you, man?
There's no police report or anything. But did y'all catch Van Jones on CNN crying?
Yeah, you said like you
Saying
from the South. Country boy.
Yeah.
That's all we said in the South. Man, that boy over there crying.
Van Jones on CNN, live TV, crying that he can be a father now. That he's all about character. You want to talk about character? Look at Biden, how he approaches women and how he evades people's personal space.
Yeah, that's
You want to talk about character? How about the character of his family and his son and the money that supposedly, allegedly through emails is being verified through emails that went to the big guy?
I'll just say this. His son is being investigated by the FBI right now. And you're talking about character?
Character, the man who wrote the 94 crime bill. You want to talk about character? Joe Biden? He's got good character to you? You up there crying for this man who's locked up so many black people for nonviolent offenses? Threw the book at him. He wrote the law, and you're crying for that man.
Hey.
Van Jones. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be
There's
emotional.
nothing wrong with crying, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But before you cry, at least know the facts why you crying.
Yeah. I think,
Character. Joe Biden's got good character. He's groping and smelling women on TV. And his family has been paid millions of dollars.
by foreign governments.
Through his family, through his kids, they have no experience in business. Nothing.
Making millions of dollars from foreign foreign governments, communist governments.
That Joe Biden was overseeing. Y'all don't have a problem with that?
Yeah.
You want to bring up character? You need to check yourself.
Anyway, hey, everybody, keep the faith. Just know
Trump has not lost this election.
He has not lost this election.
Just make sure if Trump wins, make sure you got...
hold up.
Make sure you got something to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's with any times.
Yeah.
Not just saying that. You should be already doing that.
I mean, just look, everybody. 2020 has been a crazy year.
I think this is actually going to bleed into next year.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be wrapped up in December.
Yeah, actually, I don't think we're going to know who our president is officially for probably another 30 days at the very least, I'm thinking.
But just know if the media was being fair, all the if you take out all the contested states and you give Trump North Carolina and Alaska, Trump's actually winning.
Y'all want to say Trump was colluding with Russia, that Russia meddled in our last election?
There was no proof of that.
There's absolutely no proof.
Been investigated, no proof.
And we have all kinds of proof that this election process this time around?
Yeah. There's video in Pennsylvania where Republican poll watchers were not allowed in to watch the count. That's proof. That's fraud.
That's no transparency at all during this election.
That's fraud.
Yeah, they find Trump votes in the garbage.
Yeah, there's videos of this.
No observers, and then they find over 100,000 votes for one candidate and did not find one vote for Trump? Y'all don't think that's suspicious, people on the left? I mean, they've been lying to y'all all year about the last 4 years about Trump. They lied about the Covington kids. They lied about Trump.
Yeah.
They lied about everything. When are y'all going to wake up and finally realize that you cannot assume things are true just because the media tells you something?
I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble. They see a man in a suit, a woman in dressed on TV. They have this authority over them, right? And you believe it.
And they've been lying about these polls, man. They
polls.
meddled in an election with just them polls. That's voter suppression.
He's winning by 10 points. 10 points. That's a Ronald Reagan landslide.
When are y'all gonna wake up? Don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first. Well, a bunch of people told you already. But Trump has not lost his election.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's won. And just the media, from the whole moment during that election, that first state that they gave to Biden, Arizona, they said, well, that's the first state to flip. No, they prematurely gave that state to Joe Biden to set up those other states.
Yeah.
We got to wait till the mail-in ballots. That's all they kept saying. We got to wait. We got to get the mail-in
what's
ballots.
funny is Texas, they started counting mail-in ballots first. You know,
Right.
they had that system locked. But Pennsylvania, one of the states that's flipped. Georgia, one of the states that's flipped. Michigan, Wisconsin, all of them. No, let's wait let's do these last.
Let's wait to see how many votes we need. Why else would you wait in Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee? Why would you hold all these mail-in ballots?
Yeah.
And then count them after you got the other votes. And then on top of that, you don't let poll observers come in to review the count.
Yeah, or watch the count. To watch it.
And they keep hiding behind this COVID thing and say, no, I can't let you inside. It's COVID mandates. Too many people.
Not too many people. Just the Democrats can go in and If I was a poll watcher, I'm like, man, you crazy as hell, man. You better get the hell up out the way. I'm coming in now.
I'm patrolling. I'm just trying to come in there and look over your shoulder, make sure you ain't doing no Joe Biden and stuff.
They had people now. They had people now with binoculars like this. Hey, man, this is, I can't see. 25 feet dead to stand on back.
That's crazy as hell, man. 25 feet away.
I mean, I can't, I'm not going to judge the people that was in there doing with the binoculars. Man, but if I'm in there, I'm a poll watcher, you think I'm standing back with binoculars? I might have some binoculars on me, but if I can't sit and I walk up, those binoculars ain't going to be used for binoculars. And y'all crazy as hell.
Hey, press secretary, she made some interesting points.
Yeah.
Everything she said were legitimate details about what was going on during the election. And by law, under our Constitution, everything she said is fraud.
Yeah.
Everything she said is fraud.
Yeah, and he cut her off before she could finish. He said, maybe if she comes out with some more evidence, we'll go back to her. Well, you prematurely cut off. Maybe she had that information.
I think she was doing a good job there, Neil.
Doing a damn good job.
Won't you just shut up and stop thinking for me? I have a brain.
Yeah.
I can think for myself.
Pfizer needs to answer some questions tonight. How long did it know its new Chinese virus vaccine is 90% effective, as they say? Everyone will admit, if this news came out last Monday and not today, President Trump would not find himself in the precarious position he is in. In fact, he would have most certainly soared to victory, even in spite of the widespread election fraud that I am still confident will be rooted out. But why should anyone be surprised by all of this and the curious timing of Pfizer's announcement? This is playing out just as we predicted here on Stinchfield. With the election behind us, the media is now declaring the Chinese virus will soon be wiped out with this vaccine. Lives will be saved along with the global economy. Even the Biden campaign threw out all social distancing rules for their sham of a victory speech this weekend. People ditched their cars. Some ditched their masks as well.
We're sending Donald Trump back to Florida. We don't want him in New York.
Well, of course, that's Senator Chuck Schumer. You see, post-election, all is well, as even Senator Schumer ditches the social distancing recommendations, proving they were never serious about the dangers. But here's the reality. If it were not for President Trump and his determination in pushing Operation Warp Speed on the drug companies, the vaccine would still be months away. Pfizer owed it to the president to announce this terrific news before the election. He deserved that at the least. Instead, they apparently sat on the news. Pfizer's silence helped to sink the president on Election Day. So did Dr. Fauci's along the way as well.
We would be giving vaccine to people very likely before the end of this year. That is good news.
Yeah, good news, right? He says. How much did Fauci know before all this as well? So the Democrats celebrate Joe Biden and his current position. But beyond that, there isn't much for them to cheer about. It is the Democrats that are sinking, by the way, and their party is in absolute disarray, and we can thank the president for that, too. The Democrats lost seats in the House of Representatives. They failed to take back the Senate, which means they will have less power in Congress than they do now. Republicans hold the majority in 31 state legislatures. That is important for so many reasons, but maybe the most important being that this is a congressional redistricting year. Republican legislatures will draw the lines that will shape how Congress looks for many years to come. They'll draw those lines all in our favor. These devastating blows for the Democrats have started a civil war inside their own party as they pretend to celebrate the election of Joe Biden. Listen to Democrat Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger scold her colleagues on a House Democratic caucus call just a few days after the election.
If we are classifying Tuesday as a success from a congressional standpoint, we will get torn apart in 2022.
Well, think about it. The Democrats are the party of the defund the police movement. That backfired on them. They are the party of socialism. That backfired on them. And as Spanberger points out, let the inter-party war begin.
We need to not ever use the word socialist or socialism ever again. Because while people think it doesn't matter, it does matter. And we lost good members because of that.
Pointing fingers and telling each other what to do, it deepens the division in the party, and it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to pour gasoline on these already very delicate tensions in the party.
All right, we could sit back and watch them go at each other. We need to use these deep divisions against them. A divided foe is far easier to conquer. The Democrats are most certainly divided and are in disarray. We must give President Trump credit for that. He exposed the Democrats for what they are. He exposed the media as the liars and the shills that they are. And the president has taught Republicans how to finally fight. He may not have won yet, but he has given us many victories with, I promise you, more to come, which is why you cannot count him out yet. The legal
Do you have something to tell me? Go ahead. I'm all ears. I'm drawing a line in the sand. Oh, I'm not mad. That's just what we did for fun back in Voldoon. To survive in the dunes, you sometimes have to scavenge supplies from other people after you incapacitate them. What's a Volpera's favorite dance? The foxtrot! I want you to know I cherish your friendship. But if you die on me, I'm taking your stuff. Sure, Mira's song about Dolly and Dot was catchy, but that doesn't mean all Volpera should be expected to write a jingle for our alpacas.
What did you bring me? The dunes have everything we need. Do you have any news? Take care of yourself. No one else will.
Punches, lucky doos and loot. Good fortune to all friends of the Grummels.
Don't be shy. Good to meet ya.
For 10,000 years, Suramar was the only world we knew. As the ages passed, Azeroth changed around us and fell into the Legion's grasp. To secure our people's future, you must help reclaim our place in Azeroth. When our city faced its darkest hour, the heroes of Azeroth fought with us to drive out the Legion. Some did so reluctantly. But the Sindorai, the Blood Elves, showed us respect and understanding. Their kinship proved there were others in Azeroth who share our values.
Ah, the young hero comes before me. I am told you show great promise. Let us hope these reports prove true. The Nightborn are a wise and powerful people. The ancient knowledge you possess will prove a great boon to our cause. The Horde has many rivals in this world. Some call us enemies, others call us outcasts. But we find strength in unity, and in defiance of those who would challenge our freedom. Rest assured, I will be taking note of your progress. As War Chief, I expect much of you, and I reward those who serve me well. Enough of these pleasantries. You have much to prove, hero. Wherever your path takes you, know that you fight for the Horde.
Sega.
you take damage, you'll drop all the rings you've collected. If you take damage when you have no rings left, you'll lose a life, so be careful. Press the X button here to use the spin launch to break through the rocks and continue on.
He'll be here any second.
Hey guys, what's going on? You having a party or something?
Surprise!
Aw, you guys.
It's kind of impossible to surprise you.
You totally got me this time. I had no idea.
Yeah, right. Happy birthday, Sonic. Hope you like this.
Like it? I love it!
Thanks, Sonic. I thought I was dead, floating without a body in a black limbo. Ugh, I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks.
Is it me, or is that place we were just in awfully familiar?
Not to me, but this place looks like something sucked all the life and color out of it. Totally strange.
Hey there, what can I do? Really? You want to know about me? Big Z's my family, you know? This was before the gang wars were at it. Anyway, I don't like the Volkers at the best of times. I screamed out, "Leave him alone, you core slimes!" Hey, don't treat me like I'm a little girl. I ain't no... Those Volkers didn't scare me. I guess Zalbar didn't like seeing me get The other two screamed. I thought Zalbar was gonna rip that punk's arms off and beat... I keep telling Zalbar to brush those choppers of his, but he never listens. Just... Anyway, I knew those Volkers would be back with friends, so... He was fleeing some kind of... Doesn't much matter to me, though. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? In fact, Yeah, I suppose... My brother's a touchy subject, you know?
conquer. Fight local.
The Terminator. Spawn.
Local. Fight. Conquer. Story. Top crypt.
you